I was sitting in my car in the hospital parking lot. It was about 4:15 p.m. My shift was done, feet throbbing, emotionally fried. And I noticed that I had a voicemail. A friend needed a ride to the airport on one of my days off. And my body said no instantly. My nervous system said no. My exhaustion said no. But my mouth left a 3-minute voice note. Not just, I can't. It was, oh my gosh, I would love to, but I just worked 3 shifts and I think I might be getting sick. And then I sat there sweating, waiting, wondering if my excuse was good enough. So today we're talking about why you over-explain, what your nervous system thinks, and your nervous system thinks it's at risk when you don't, and how you can stop leaking your power through something called JADE, JADE. And that stands for justify, argue, defend, explain. And the JADE concept, which stands for, as I mentioned, justify, argue, defend, and explain, comes from recovery-based boundary work. And it gave language to something so many of us do when we're afraid of rejection. By the end of this video, you're going to know why silence feels dangerous, why explaining actually weakens your boundary, what to say instead without becoming cold or rude. Because this is not about becoming harsh, it's about being clear. And I'm going to show you how I came to this realization, because I wasn't communicating in that parking lot at that time on my phone regarding the pickup from the airport. What I was doing was I was pleading. And I was pleading like I was a defendant asking the judge for mercy. Have you ever noticed that? Because you don't explain from calm, you explain from fear. And the fear is that they're going to be mad at you, that they're going to leave, that they're going to think that you're selfish. So what your nervous system tries to do is make it, and it makes it that your nervous system tries to make it more acceptable. Because have you ever said no, and then you immediately felt like you had to explain why? Like your no, you needed some evidence. And it's like your boundary needed footnotes. Because if you're an HSP, you don't just say no. You present a case. I am too guilty of this, so to be honest, I'm going to tell you that this shows up in my brain a lot, and I'm going to tell you how it happens in our brains. Let's say, I'm going to give you an example. You enter what I call the courtroom. So in your mind, they're the judge, you're the defendant, and what you're doing is you're explaining your evidence. Let's say, for instance, if I explain enough, they're going to approve my boundary. But here's where this breaks. Because remember I was giving you the story I was in the parking lot? I'm going to give you another story that happened to me. It was on a Tuesday in the clinic, and a doctor wanted me to do something I was not comfortable doing yet. So I started explaining. And I started by going, well, the policy says, well, I haven't been signed off and I'm really swamped. I'm really busy right now. And I thought I was being responsible. But you know what the doctor heard? Negotiation. That's what he heard, me negotiating. And he said, how about you don't worry about that and I'll just sign you off right now. And suddenly, my explanation did not protect me. It actually trapped me. So I'll tell you how I got out of that in a minute. But first, we have to name the behavior. And this is where the acronym I gave, JADE, comes in. The justify, argue, defend, and explain. When we're afraid of rejection, we JADE. We believe if they understand why, they will not be upset with us. But here's the truth that changed everything for me. People who respect your boundary don't need your explanation. And people who don't respect your boundary won't care about your explanation. They'll just use it. Think about that. Let that sink in. I'll give you an example. Think about a toddler. You tell them, you can't have a cookie because you're going to be eating dinner soon. What happens? Negotiation. The toddler is going to tell you, but I'll brush my teeth, but I'm hungry. When you explain to adults who don't respect boundaries, you invite negotiation. You say, my decision is up for debate. Now, let me take you back to the doctor and how we resolve that. So there I was, heart racing. He was waiting, and I had run out of reasons. So I did something that was terrifying to me. I stopped talking. I looked him in the eye and said, I'm not doing that procedure. Period. Silence. My nervous system screamed. It said, apologize, soften, explain. But I didn't. The doctor just scoffed, rolled his eyes, and he walked away. Boundary held, not because I explained well, but because I stopped trying to convince the doctor. Now, I'm going to give you some nervous system truth here. Over-explaining is not communication. It's regulation. You're trying to regulate your emotions so you can feel safe. And have you ever noticed that you explain more when someone is more powerful, more when someone is unpredictable, or more when someone might withdraw? And that's not politeness. You're acting out of survival. That's survival. And the shift for me was I stopped convincing, because what you do now, you're going to start informing versus convincing. So you stop convincing and you start informing, because convincing sounds like this. I'll give you an example. I can't because. Informing sounds like I won't be available, because convincing manages emotions. Informing communicates our reality. And for us HSPs, this feels rude, but it's not rude, it's clear. And this is why I created this channel, because I want us to be able to share openly and be vulnerable with each other and share our struggles as highly sensitive people, because I created this space as a space that we needed when we were kids, when we were younger, our younger selves, especially for me, for my younger self. I wish I had this kind of space where I could share these types of struggles and solutions that I'm finding that are working for me as a HSP. And if you're new here, my name is Sly. I'm a pediatric registered nurse, and I am an over-explainer. I am a recovering over-explainer, I like to say, because, and if you find that this is resonating and you're like, well, Sly, it sounds like you're describing me, welcome. You're in the right channel. I want you to subscribe and turn on your notification bell down below, not because I've mastered it all, but because I'm practicing it out loud. These videos are meant to be played while you cook, clean, when you're out walking. Just put your headphones on and just listen as you take a walk. So this new clarity becomes normal for us HSPs. And I want you to try this this week. When you catch yourself typing a paragraph, either whether it's an email or a text, I want you to delete it, leave the decision. add a period, and send. And notice what your body does, because you'll notice that the nervous system, for it to feel safe, you have to try and do these things over and over again. And then your nervous system is going to start trusting you and believing you and feeling safe. Now, you're also going to watch and see if the person you're writing to, then you're going to say, what if they get mad? Well, yes, they may get mad. And I'll be honest, that happened to me with my family, and they were being mad at me and projecting. And that guilt almost broke me. But if you want to know how to survive the guilt that comes after setting boundaries, I want you to watch this next, because the guilt is real and learning how to hold it is the real freedom. I want you to watch the video that I named. I didn't cut them off, I clocked out, because once you stop over explaining, you still need a plan for access. And this is the one that saved my nervous system. And if you're sitting there and you're like, well, Sly, I feel exposed. Well, it's okay. Just watch the video. I didn't cut them off. I clocked out. It's going to it's good. It's calm. It's the grown-up way to set limits without turning your life into a family courtroom. Because because if you stop jading but keep giving unlimited access, you'll just be exhausted with better vocabulary. And we don't want that for HSPs. And I'll put the playlist in the description below. Binge it like nervous system Netflix while you're folding your laundry or doing dishes. Because here we don't hustle. We regulate in small doses. So I want you to make sure you come back tomorrow, and subscribe, because I'm not perfect. Practicing out loud, and also Substack is where we heal together. I'm going to put the link below. And remember, you're doing better than you think, and I'll see you tomorrow.